Welcome back to the Better Late Than Never Club. I'm Beck.
And I'm Frost.
And tonight we are watching a movie.
Wait. Let me guess. I have no idea. I don't have a guess. I actually don't know.
It's true, you don't know. All you gave me was a genre.
Drama?
Drama.
Yeah.
Which is perhaps the most, not really, it's not generic, but it's a very general category.
It's pretty broad.
I will give you a subcategory for drama if you'd like.
Oh, yeah, look, let's play a quick little fun guessing game.
All right. Legal historical drama.
Oh. I can't even begin to think of something.
Maybe just focus on the legal.
Legally Blonde? I've seen that though, so it wouldn't
That's
be
not
bad.
a drama.
I mean,
No, that's a comedy movie.
you can have a comedy drama anyway. Oh, A Few Good Men? No.
No. I'll give you the year 2000.
Is it the, You Can't Handle the Truth? I can't remember what that's called. True Lies?
Another subcategory is biographical. Hence the historical. I guess it's more biographical than historical.
How legal are we talking? Like we're talking lawyer
Pretty
and
legal.
judge?
Pretty legal.
Lawyer or judge?
Lawyer. There is judges in it though as well.
Is it like it's historical, so it's like
Well, no, I probably shouldn't have said historical. It's not like
founding of America.
correct. It's biographical, so it's based on truth. Is what I meant by historical.
Is it like MLK historical?
No, more recent than that, I think.
Oh.
Actually, I don't know. I'm really bad with...
Okay, no, I have no good guesses.
It's Erin Brockovich.
Okay, no, I don't even know. Is that someone's name? I don't
Yes.
know. Okay.
How have you not heard of Erin Brockovich?
I don't... Is that a first and a last name?
Yes.
Okay.
First name Erin, last name Brockovich.
Definitely not a name I've ever heard in my life.
Wow. He's not a feminist, folks. You heard it here first.
We'll be editing that up. We've got to keep my image untarnished.
Yeah, because we wouldn't want to stop the flow of sponsors that are currently streaming in
Oh, look, they're
to
just,
support this.
this golden child who hasn't been Me Too'd.
Oh, God. Let's not even go there. All right. Let me tell you about Erin Brockovich. The movie.
I know literally nothing about the film or the person.
That's fine. You don't need to. That's what the movie's for.
Good.
Some would argue.
Great.
So like I said, it is in the year 2000, or that's when it was released. It's an American biographical legal drama film. Now, this is something that I didn't do intentionally, but we are revisiting a director.
Oh, true. Turtle Taub, please tell me.
No, it's not Turtle Taub.
I'll hold a candle for Turtle Taub.
It is Steven Soderbergh.
Oh, Soderbergh. I remember getting excited about the Soderbergh film.
Yeah, it was Ocean's 11.
Oh, damn. So this is like a historical legal drama heist film.
No, it's not. But interestingly, that Ocean's 11 had Julia Roberts in it.
Okay.
Right? She played Brad Pitt's ex, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
I agree with you.
That sounds right.
Definitely was a woman.
She's the main actress in this.
Okay.
She is the titular character, Erin Brockovich. So, Steven Soderbergh also, we probably obviously talked about his filmography when we did Ocean's 11. But just as a little reminder, he did Ocean's 11, 12, and 13. And then prior, he did this. And also, the same year as this, he did a movie called Traffic.
Don't know it.
Which I'd never heard of, but that will become relevant in a little bit.
Roger. And
then also, the first movie he directed was Sex, Lies, and Videotape, which I've heard of. It's like an independent, a bit more of an indie film.
So this predates Ocean's 11?
Correct.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure.
Look.
That sounds right.
Let's not fact check it, but sure.
I think by like a few years. Cool. Not like heaps, but yeah. So this movie did very well. It had
critically or like to fans or both?
Both. It had like a $52 million budget.
It's pretty big.
And 20 million of that went to Julia Roberts.
Oh, fuck.
She was the first actress to get paid that much. This was like peak Julia Roberts.
I have to tag this podcast as explicit content now because I've sworn, but damn, that's big bucks.
Yeah, so she got paid a lot, and like for good reason. She was like, is like, big budget lady.
They didn't call it Julia Roberts, but only just.
Yeah. So it grossed internationally like 250 million, so it did well.
That's pretty good, yeah.
It was the 10th highest grossing film domestically for the year.
What are we talking about? Awards? Did it?
Yeah, so this is where Soderbergh's other movie from the same year, Traffic, comes into it. So Erin Brockovich was nominated for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5 Oscars.
That's pretty good.
It was nominated for Best Original Screenplay, Best Supporting Actor, Best Actress for Julia Roberts, Best Director, and Best Picture.
When Traffic comes into this, how?
Because Soderbergh was double nominated for Best Director for both this and Traffic.
Oh, no.
He won for Traffic.
Oh. I thought you were going to tell me that, like, because his votes were divided between the two of them, someone else won.
Well, because you vote for the movie, not for the man.
Well, yeah, but imagine you voted for Traffic on Soderbergh, but you liked Soderbergh, you thought he was going to win, but you liked Brockovich more, so you vote for that.
I suppose.
And 60% of the votes go to Soderbergh.
It was a happy ending for Soderbergh, because imagine getting double nominated and losing both. That would be upsetting, I think, and more so. It didn't win Best Picture, because Gladiator won that year.
Fair enough.
And so it got nominated for 5, only won 1, which was the Best Actress for Julia Roberts.
Well, and Traffic. Never mind. Sorry, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
You just said.
So it's a little bit of like, Soderbergh technically won 1, but not for this.
Yeah.
But same year. Now, more Julia Roberts fun facts about this movie.
To lose to yourself is not exactly, it's like, oh no, I lost.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just wipe my tears away with this Oscar I won.
So Julia Roberts became the first actress to win an Academy Award, aka an Oscar, a BAFTA Award, a Critics' Choice Movie Award, a Golden Globe Award, a National Board of Review Award, and Screen Actors Guild Award for a single performance.
Oh, wow. So, like the Queen... let me try that.
I don't know if it's the Queen Sweep.
Is it not the Queen Sweep?
Queen Sweep is the Good Mythical Morning version of Clean Sweep.
Yes.
Anyway. Sorry, just a little shout out there for the niche subset of our 5-person audience who also watches Good Mythical Morning. Anyway.
Which I think is just one Zender. Probably.
I don't even think he does.
Used to be a fan.
Anyway, we're getting sidetracked rapidly. I don't know how impressive that stands now, whether other people have achieved the same thing. It's just a thing that's noted on the wiki as, at the time, she was the first one to win this particular gamut of awards for one performance, not just across
several movies,
but that's so obviously she is a big deal for this movie. Both she was a big deal at the time and got paid a lot to do it, and then did a good job and everyone thought so, kind of vibe.
Now, just for little old Frosty, Julia Roberts is the person we watched her in that romance film
Pretty Woman.
Correct.
Yeah, that's probably the movie you've seen her in most recently, aside from Ocean's 11 playing that side character.
I think I get her mixed up with Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. I don't know, you have face blindness, so everything seems fair to me when,
Yep, that person has 2 legs and hair.
Yeah.
They're the same human.
So, that's kind of it. That's
What do you know about this film, other than the awards and the directors and the things?
I don't really want to... okay, I guess I can tell you a little bit. It's based on a real person and real events. So, Erin Brockovich was a lawyer, but the context is more so that I believe she's kind of like a... not self-taught, because you can't really be a self-taught lawyer. You have to pass the bar and stuff.
But you can still be self-taught.
I guess you can still be self-taught, not go to university, because you can just go to do the bar, I guess.
Yeah.
But she's a small town lawyer, and essentially she takes on this huge case against a big corporate
and everyone expects her to lose because...
And it's the ultimate underdog type situation.
I'm a fan of the big underdog. But I guess to put this in the context of why I want to know what you know.
Yeah.
The question would be if we were to watch the Titanic today, and you were to say well, when the Titanic sinks near the end of the film, and I'd be like, wow, what a spoiler.
Sure.
Because, that real thing that happened in history that everyone knows about.
Yeah.
I guess my question was what do you know about the story? Is it real to the world? Do you know much about the real world, Erin Brockovich, as opposed to the...
Not really. Not outside of this particular story. I don't know her life story or anything. I've only really picked up little bits and pieces of this particular story, which is based on, I think it's fairly accurate as in the actual court case. Because, there was historical... it was documented at the time.
Yeah, I do love a good biopic, especially one about people. So, and especially one about law. I really enjoyed that miniseries with O.J. Simpson. I really enjoyed like Air, that one with, I think it's Marky Mark, and it's like about Michael Jordan's sponsorship, but actually it's really more about Nike's.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one, but you did, yeah.
Ford v Ferrari, there were a few other ones, like all those kinds. I really enjoy that type of film because it's like, oh, it's an interesting and...
About a real person.
Or about some real events, and often dramatized, but...
I saw that there was a couple of noted scenes that did actually occur, or like were definitely based on real scenes that happened. Obviously,
Yeah.
Maybe slightly dramatized or but
Changed for
generally
cinema.
Based in reality, and a couple of things that were omitted that did actually happen, but I don't want to get into specifics until we watch the film. But
look, I'm fine to have a dramatized version of a story told to me. That's, after all, good storytelling.
Yeah. It's not a documentary.
I mean, look, even movies like this, which are in the style of a documentary, I can still really enjoy them. So what I'm saying
is like it's okay to be dramatized because it's not a documentary.
Yeah, right. That's the point. The facts are less important than a good story, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I've wanted to watch this movie for a long time because...
So you haven't seen it either?
No.
Okay.
But I feel like I've seen like shorts of it, like the clips, and I don't know the full extent of the story, but I'm pretty sure I know the outcome kind of vibe, but I couldn't tell you about every turn to get there.
Yeah, this will be good. Well, I'm excited to watch this.
Yeah, well, let's dive in. I'm glad you're excited. I'm glad I picked a good one. Let's watch Erin Brockovich.
Well, we don't know you've picked a good one yet, but let's hope that it is.
All right, let's think positive. Let's watch Erin Brockovich.
First, we meet Erin Brockovich, single mother of 3 children who is struggling to make ends meet. After an unsuccessful legal issue, Erin convinces her lawyer to give her a job at his office as a legal assistant. Erin quickly becomes consumed by a case involving the Pacific Gas and Electric Company. Over the course of months of research, she uncovers that PG&E have contaminated the water supply of the town of Hinckley, causing mass health problems in the residents. Erin, alongside her boss Ed, convince hundreds of plaintiffs to work together to bring PG&E to justice. Finally, after unearthing evidence that the corporate HQ knew about the contamination, a settlement of $333 million is ordered, of which Erin receives $2 million for her tireless work. Here's some deeper thoughts on the matter.
You know what's so special about Julia Roberts?
Her very expressive face. Wait, no. Her very convincing dry humor. Wait, I got it. Her sass. Oh, hang on. I bet it's her, like, sardonic looks.
Well, yes. Yes to all of that. However, I think what makes her so unique to me as an actor is that she has a very distinctive face. Like you said, very expressive, very distinctive. No one could call Julia Roberts generic, right? Like, she's very distinctive looking.
Big smile.
In a positive way.
Yeah.
But often, actors who are really distinctive, I find it's harder for them to disappear into roles. Because of the distinctive nature, it's just easy to be like, it's just Julia Roberts being Julia Roberts. But my point is that she's not like that. She is such a good actress that she still, I think, manages to sort of become the role. I mean, look,
you say that, but I could easily see that this movie is the sequel to Pretty Woman. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but that's, I think, more so some of the similarities between the characters.
Yeah.
There's a similar wardrobe.
Well, sorry.
You know what I mean?
Part of the problem here is I can't think of too many other roles Julia Roberts has been in. And that might actually lead into exactly what you're saying, is that she might have disappeared into the other roles that aren't Pretty Woman.
Well, I mean, she was in Ocean's 11.
Yes, she absolutely was. Very different character. Although, like, one could argue not exactly a main character.
No.
So, like, well, obviously in this, she was on screen time like 90% of the time. Like, this was Erin Brockovich for Erin Brockovich by Erin Brockovich.
Right.
Oh, I'm glad nothing bad happened to Ed, though. I was worried they set him up with the quadruple bypass and his old age and...
One kidney.
Oh, man, they set him up. They set us up for the fall.
Yeah, no, it overall has a pretty happy ending in the grand scheme of,
Yeah.
Corporate overlords being terrible.
Corporate America cutting corners and trying to scrub records to ruin the lives of just everyday citizens for profit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Insofar as that the orphan crushing machine shouldn't exist, but in this case, there was a win against the Orphan Crushing Machine producers. Yeah, there was a happy ending.
I mean, I guess everything else, like, it's not really... They don't really tell you whether George and Erin get back together.
No, and I don't think that's really relevant to the plot.
I think that they reconcile.
Yeah.
A bit.
Like, the implication is that at least they remain friendly. Like, obviously, she calls him in her time of need. Like, I need somebody I could trust, look after kids for several days.
Right.
You can't just do that.
Yeah.
You need somebody you can trust. So obviously, she trusts him, and...
He does a really good job.
Yeah.
I agree with you. He has a nice smile.
Very convincing, friendly character. I do like Aaron Eckhart. As like a... You know, I can only think of him from the Batman movies.
He does a good, lovable biker, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And like...
Even like this scene that you meet him in is such a good, fun scene.
Yeah, classic, like biker bro. But then it's like, actually, he's got a bit of a heart of gold. He's just a softie. He just likes motorcycles and living cheaply, and I can relate. Honestly, I can relate.
I also love that scene sets up Erin's mental prowess.
Yeah.
Memorization.
Yes.
Not that what she says is that impressive, but it's just sort of like the speed at which she rattles off the retort to him.
I mean, that kind of mental acuity is not just like, oh, she's memorized her own phone number and like the age of her kids. It's that she thinks in numbers.
Right.
And so it's therefore it's believable that she's gotten to know the entire town of
Hinckley,
the entire town of Hinckley, and therefore gotten to know their addresses and their phone numbers because she's calling them all the time to ask questions and get updates. And at a certain point in a small town, you only need to remember like 2 or 3 numbers per person because the area code's the same.
Right.
Like in the country town I grew up, everyone had 8-digit phone numbers. First 4 digits are the same.
Same for me. Like,
yeah, but like for your local area, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So really, there's only 1,000 numbers to memorize, and at that point, I mean, you order the families by their phone number is easy.
Right.
It's not that hard.
By the amount of cancer that they have.
Yeah. How many tumors did that one have? Oof.
So rough.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Like the scenes where people are kind of like that scene where she's trying to convince the first woman, Mrs.
Donna.
Jensen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Explaining to her that she's been lied to.
Yeah.
Is so emotionally fraught. And very well acted by Mrs. Jensen as well, frankly. That actress did a fantastic job as well. Everyone did a good job, to be honest.
Like I can see why, first of all,
Julia Roberts won.
I can also see why it was nominated for so many. Mm-hmm. It only won the one Oscar for Julia Roberts, so I can kind of see that it was a strong year.
If it was going to win something else, it would have won like Best Picture, that went to Gladiator, or Best Director, but that went to the director's other film. So it's kind of like, you know, you can understand how things shook out.
Best Original Screenplay?
Yeah.
I'm interested to know what it lost to be honest. Because unless it also lost to Gladiator, which might also be a Best Original Screenplay.
It could have.
I don't really know what qualifies for Best Original Screenplay entrance, you know?
Has to be original.
Well, and it has to be the best to win. Also,
I thought it would be fun to note that on the wiki for the film, the real Erin Brockovich says that the film is probably 98% accurate. Also, she was in the film. She plays like an extra somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember what. I need to look it up.
Probably the town hall scene?
No, I think it was like a waitress or something. I need to double check. I saw something. There was a couple of people that were really involved in the situation, like a lawyer maybe, or a judge or someone. There was something.
It would have been good if the judge, who was the first one to deny the 87, like the initial judge review, I can't remember what terms they used because I'm not a lawyer. Spoiler alert. I'm not as good as Erin Brockovich. Also, spoiler alert. But it would be good if that was the actual judge who gave that initial.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, you know, stuff you to PG&E. So the guy that plays Ed lost Best Supporting Actor to Benicio del Toro in Traffic, which was the film that won the Best Director. I feel like we need to see Traffic now. Yeah. I feel like we always do this. We always bring up the Oscar about some film or other. Like, we're watching this film and it only won 1 award, whereas the other film of that year won like 5. Yeah. We're watching the wrong film. No, it doesn't. I mean, look, awards are one thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the be all and end all. True. We know that every year from the Oscars. It's like there's always a film that you resonate with more that somehow just doesn't win. Yeah.
And only one film can win, and it's like, what do you mean only one good film is made a year? Like, that doesn't, yeah.
I think it's just interesting that this has happened more than once, where we've watched the not Oscar winner, and the Oscar winner of the year was, and we haven't seen it. We have seen a few of the Oscar winners, so it's not a guarantee.
Honestly, I think if I made a list of all of the best picture Oscar winners for the last 40 years, I doubt if I've seen more than a quarter of them.
Yeah.
Which is, although it will be an interesting stat to look at. So, you were asking about best writing, which is screenplay written directly for the screen.
Yeah.
It lost to Almost Famous, which I have seen. Is a good movie.
I think I've seen that.
It's a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Two plot points for a little person who's...
It's like a teenage journalist traveling with a rock band.
Fictional? Entirely fiction? Yeah. No, okay, maybe I haven't seen it.
It's a comedy drama.
Maybe I haven't seen it. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Got Kate Hudson in it.
That doesn't help me.
Gladiator was also nominated, but also lost to Almost Famous.
There you go.
So, back to Erin Brockovich. I really liked the pacing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was...
film. It did a really good job of... It's a funny thing that a film like this has to battle, because you have to make a point of how long and arduous the process that they're undergoing is.
Yes.
Erin Brockovich is spending months, in the end years really, on this case, doing hard on-the-ground work, no sleep, whatever. But in order to demonstrate that, you have to do it in a way that doesn't feel like too much on the viewer, because otherwise then it's like, well, I don't want to go through it.
Yeah.
I want to watch the show that's summarizing this, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
in
it's
real time.
You've got that's a balancing act, and I think they did that really well.
The music really helped there as well. Mm-hmm. Like, there were quite a few times where the music was not monotonous exactly, but like it's just like a beat, and it keeps going, and it's just like the same
looking
kind
at
of
a montage.
Yeah, and it's sort of building a steady tension.
Yes, yeah.
And I said to you this morning, I was like, oh, you pick a film, and you said what genre, and I said about 12 of them, and you said pick one, so I said drama. Mm-hmm. And you nailed that.
Yep, thank you very much.
This has really gone, here's some tension, here's some,
and real life,
emotional heartstrings being pulled and plucked.
I honestly think drama as a genre, it works best in real world issues.
Yes.
You know? Like, you can have drama in other genres, like sci-fi drama and fantasy drama and whatever. And
that can work really well.
It can work, but really, I think it's never going to be done as well as in these real world application.
Yeah. I mean, in the pre-roll I was talking about how I liked some of these docudrama, especially the series.
I'm glad this lived up to...
It did. It absolutely lived up.
Exactly what you wanted.
100%. It gave me the same little satisfied feeling that I got when we finished the Chernobyl miniseries, which, by the way, dear listener, if you haven't watched the Chernobyl miniseries...
Get on that.
After you're done listening to this, go and watch that. Because that was incredible. And this gave me the same kind of little satisfaction.
I mean, you and I both just really enjoy a little bit slice of history.
Yeah. Yep.
Dramatized and it's like learning, but in a fun way.
I how good would it feel to be the real Erin Brockovich, played by Julia Roberts?
Yeah.
You was Hollywood decided that the only woman capable of being me was Julia fucking Roberts.
Also, I get to sell the story of how I basically just became a town's hero by being hot. Hot and smart.
Yeah. Hot and smart's all it takes, folks.
Yeah, just letting you know.
And grit, because she's got grit.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I thought that Ed and Erin, as in the two main characters, just had such good chemistry. Obviously not romantic chemistry, but on-screen character chemistry that worked so well. Yeah. They're both really good characters. In the end, I think Ed is it's not that he's a more interesting character, but he becomes
he is initially two-dimensional.
He has a bit more of a growth. I mean, Erin does as well, though.
I wouldn't say that he has more of a growth. I think that because the movie is from her perspective. Right. I would say that we learn more about him through her lens.
That's fair.
Because initially, he's just some two-bit scumbag, blood-sucking lawyer who promised her everything. And then got her nothing, lost her the case.
And then he gives her the job, and it's just this bit of, it's just give and take, push and pull, but it's really I love apparently I also saw on the wiki that like they weren't sure the movie did screen well with like early, you know how they screen movies with like early viewers to see how people like it. It like screened pretty well, but there was concerns that people weren't going to like the movie because Erin as a character is like swears a lot.
Swears a lot, yep.
Which is funny. But I mean, it just works well because it's such a strong character choice. Like it makes it so distinctive and important to separate her from the lawyers.
From the polite, hand-folding, suit-wearing, shit-eating grin.
of the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's absolute that. I mean, it's so funny that the way they just absolutely school them in the end. Her quip about sexual favors to get all the signatures.
I'm so tired.
Yeah.
In 5 days.
So good.
Oh,
God. It's obviously it has some pretty sad bits. I think both of us shed some tears.
Yep,
it's pretty. I mean, how can you not be emotional at the concept of hundreds and hundreds of people being made sick by a corporate lie?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty upsetting.
It's capitalism again, baby.
It gets you every time.
What's that damn? What's his name? Brendan Lee Mulligan. Brendan Lee Mulligan would be proud of this film, I'm sure. Like, fuck capitalism. But boy, I would recommend this film.
Absolutely.
If you haven't seen it, I hadn't heard of it. But if you haven't seen it and you haven't heard of it, boy, are you in for a treat. Because, you assume coming into the get-go that you're watching a film, and if you know anything about it, which I obviously didn't, but Beckman a little bit, you assume they're going to win, right? Because it's a film and they're making about it, and you sure hope they do. But like you still don't know. And kind of like in Moneyball, how it was like there's this golden moment, but then it actually sort of like doesn't all end up super happy. I was worried, like I didn't know for sure which way it was going to go. Because like some movies they can do that to you where you get like 95% of the way
and they rug pull.
And then they rug pull.
Yeah.
Oof, and it can be rough. So this I was worried for sure that I was going to have. I
mean, it certainly could have landed on a more middle ground.
Yeah.
Where like some things went well, but then like Erin's life fell apart. Who knows? But it didn't really. One thing they did leave out, which I feel like we might have seen some scenes that were leading to that, and then they decided to scrap this idea. But they were going to have Erin get sick in the movie.
Yeah. Because
she did in real life from being in Hinckley.
Yeah.
She had to spend time in hospital. So, but they decided not to include that in the movie because the director, I don't know, didn't want this to just be another film where the main character gets sick and dies or something, I can't remember what he said, but they just decided not to include that, which I think was fine. There was enough sadness and tension, and she was going through enough with her, like, dealing with leaving her kids and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And like even though they showed her as like sick with like a really bad cough or cold or something at some point, and like I at the time didn't think, it's because she spent so much time in Hinckley. Like that bow wasn't drawn for you. It wasn't placed in front of you. I just assumed she'd been working so much she'd worked herself.
Right. And that also,
which is like that's a different kind of fucked up.
Right.
But it's also still like fair.
Right.
Yeah. And she's so passionate and cares about these people because to everyone else that is the lawyers, they're just numbers.
Yeah. So in terms of accuracy, I said that she said it was pretty accurate. Some notable, I guess, differences from the real world story.
Some creative licenses, you might say.
Was that in the film, it is sort of proposed or demonstrated that Erin uses her cleavage like on purpose.
Yep.
The real Erin acknowledged that it may have been an influence, but denies consciously using that.
Sure, buddy.
To influence people.
Sure.
Also, in the film, it is Ed that represents her for the car crash, but in the real life, it was his law partner, Tito.
Okay.
That's kind of a nothing change.
Is Tito even in the film?
Not really.
Yeah.
And then you've got the real Erin wasn't Miss Wichita. She was Miss Pacific Coast.
Oh, look out. Wichita does sound better.
It was changed because the director thought it was cute to have her be a beauty queen of the region from where she came,
Yeah.
And then, do you want to know the saddest difference?
the leukemia child did survive to see it?
No. It's that the guy, George...
I don't remember George. Oh, the biker?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yep.
So George, along with one of her ex-husbands, Sean, alleged that she had an affair with Masri, the Ed.
Really?
They attempted to file a lawsuit against her for $300,000. George was arrested and the lawyer was suspended from practicing, convicted of extortion, and later disbarred.
Wait, Ed?
No, the lawyer that brought the case against her, you know.
So I guess... so
George wasn't as lovely.
The money clouded his mind.
Yeah.
He just wanted more motorcycles, but that doesn't make it okay, George. We all want more motorcycles, all right?
So that's probably the saddest revelation from that little list of inaccuracies.
Unsurprising, but money corrupts.
Yeah, who would have thought?
No one's surprised.
But wow. It's sort of like, it's the kind of story that you wish happened more often, but it's kind of a blip on the radar, unfortunately. And the real thing is, like, we don't know about most cases like this, where the everyday person is getting screwed over in one way or another, whether that's financially, health-wise, whatever.
Yep.
It's just, we just don't even register it anymore because it's so par for the course.
Yup.
On that depressing note, I did enjoy the movie a lot, and I think we should rate it.
Yes, I think we should. I'm ready to rate it.
Okay.
I'm going to rate it 9.2 bright red Chevrolet Blazers out of 10.
Very good. I was going to say I have a similar theme, but not quite. I am going to rate this film 9.1 Harley Davidson themed Monopoly out of 10.
Good choice. Yep. Easy to do. Aaron Eckhart had a friendly face. I'm sorry his real life person was not great.
I'm glad they didn't make that part of it, because it just wouldn't have added. It just would have been sad. There's no need.
Yep.
There's enough.
But enough
they did
sadness.
a really good job.
Yeah.
It was I feel like
now knowing these things you told me that didn't make it into the film or whatever else, not only was there a good amount of editing, I didn't feel like there was a lot of stuff that was here that I would have cut, even though it was a 2-hour film.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a good length though.
Yeah. Like, because it got through a lot of content.
Right.
Like you mentioned earlier, the pacing was good.
Right? Like, that's a lot of things to cover.
Yeah. So, and I didn't feel like it was forcing it down our throat.
No.
But I also didn't feel like it was dragging its feet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they cut all the right things. They didn't include all the right things.
It's very impressive when, you compare this movie, which is just over 2 hours.
Yeah.
And we've watched other movies of similar lengths, and we be talking about how it dragged. It was too long.
So long, like...
And that really is evidence that you just need to make a good movie. As in, like, if something's good, it doesn't matter if it's that long.
I mean, Lord of the Rings, right?
Well, yeah.
We can sit there for 18 hours, right?
That's a bit subjective, though. Everything is, I guess.
No, it's not. Beck, that one is not. Other things, subjective.
Yeah. But yeah, it really was just really good. And I think it hit all of the right points for biographical, like, learning about a little piece of history.
Yeah.
But also not boring documentary style, interesting, well shot.
Yep.
Great acting.
Yes.
Really good acting.
Hell yeah.
And we should watch Traffic, apparently.
Yeah. We're going to watch Traffic. I feel like the last 10 podcasts, we've been like, after this film, this has made me want to watch this. Or because of these awards, we now have to watch this.
That's the problem. There's a lot of movies.
It turns out
they've made a few.
And Beck, they keep making
every
them.
year.
It is, honestly, it's upsetting. So here on the Better Late Than Never Club, we've decided that in about 5 to 6 to 10 years, we might get around to watching the new Dune films.
Oh, yeah, they're far too recent.
Yeah, far too recent. Like fine wine, you've got to let them age.
Absolutely.
If they're good when you watch when you first release, sure, that's fine. It's because it's green alcohol, gets you drunk real quick, whatever. I need to be up at 3 a.m. on a best movies of the last decade list and go, I remember that. Yeah. I should watch that. How have we not seen that?
That's how movies get onto our list.
The other way they get onto the list is somebody looking at us with their eyebrows near their hairline saying, what do you mean you haven't seen?
If you have a suggestion for a film that's at least a decade old that you think we would enjoy,
and that you'd be surprised we haven't seen,
let us know. Send us a message, leave us a comment, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, the BLTN Club.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
And we'll talk at you next week.
Till next time.
Bye-bye. This episode of the Better Late Than Never Club is brought to you by our patrons. Alex, Christopher, Lindy, Matthew, Nathan, and Rachel.
And also our members, Aimless, Andrew, Raina, Salty Pond, and Simon.
Thank you for listening.